Welcome to Pera's Playbook. This is your host, Alex Pera. Let's open up our playbook and see who our guest is. Please enjoy. Welcome to episode 94 of Pera's Playbook. Today we've got Kordell KillsCrow, a St. Ignace native and Michigan Tech Huskies commit. He's joining us on the podcast. How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Before we started recording, he was telling me about his job, and for people in the UP, they might understand what he does. He works at the mystery spot over by St. Ignace. And why don't you tell everybody what your favorite question people ask you is? Because I think it's funny.
It's quite funny when you hear it for sure. At least one time a year, you'll hear somebody come up to you and say, "What time does the Mackinac Bridge swing over to the island?" And you kind of smile in your head and you say a random number or a random time, and they'll just think you're so for real, like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, and then those people are probably waiting and they're like watching that. Wait, nothing's happening. That kid lied to me. But if
Yeah,
you're dumb enough to believe it, then
yeah.
you got your own set of problems.
Some people are just interesting.
Yes, they're very interesting people. There's a lot of interesting people around. When you work any kind of job with like some sort of customer service, like man, I worked at a Dunham Sports for a little while. I was a barista at a coffee shop. I worked at Tech as like a ticket guy at like all the sporting events, and man, you run
Yeah,
into some interesting people.
interesting people.
Yeah. Well, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about football and all kinds of other good stuff. So I want to start with like St. Ignace football, kind of probably when you were growing up. I mean, the Saints had some really good teams there. You had guys like Gage Kresge going to CMU. You had Joe Ostman, who eventually made it to the NFL. So a lot of talent, some very good teams. Like as a kid growing up watching that, I mean, did that just like make you want to play even more, seeing how good they were and like how they were everyone in the community kind of like just loved the football, so it just made you want
Mhm.
to be out there even more.
Yeah, back in the 2010s, 8, 9 years old, you'll definitely kind of what Bardo said. You go to those games and you'll be playing with your friends in the back. But being able to see Gage Kresge and Joey Osman become the players they are and go into the next level, it definitely got hope up for people that want to go to the next level of football. So when I was little, I definitely looked up to those guys, and they were really good role models, still good role models, and great people to this day.
Yeah, but then you guys ended up going through something a little bit different with your football than they did. You guys transitioned from 11 to 8-man, and I mean maybe there's some people if they're listening to this in like another part of the country they don't know what 8-man is, but I know like down in Texas they have like 7-man leagues and like
Man,
yeah, 6-man leagues like all over the
yeah.
place. But I mean, the only really difference is the field's a little bit different. You got 8 guys in the field instead of 11. But at what point did you guys like figure out that you were going to be 8-man? Like, was it the year prior? Like how? At what time did you like? Were you told like, yeah, you guys aren't going to be 11-man anymore?
The chance was probably that big. And going into our senior year, junior year, went into the Bark River Harris game, and we ended up with 14 starting the game, and we ended up with 11 on the field at the end. So injuries and people not wanting to play football or sports in general, it definitely takes a toll on our school and our sporting events. And right when we figured out there was 11 people on against Bark River Harris, we kind of had an idea that next year is going to be little to nothing of a chance. And we kind of, hoped it was, had enough people because we were a pretty good senior class, but um, ended up going 8-man. Maybe we figured out a month left of our junior year of high school. We figured it out. So around May or June-ish, we've started planning things out. Our coaches even started planning things out for the next year when we were in basketball season our junior year too. So
Yeah.
they were ready for either 11-man or they were ready for 8-man. Whatever we were doing, they were gonna get us as best as possible in a short amount of time.
And then like throughout the whole off season, once everyone realized you guys are going to be 8-man, you became one of the teams people were talking about. Like, watch out for St. Ignace; they're going to be dangerous. There was a lot of hype around you guys being kind of the new kids on the block. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's good, sometimes it's not. But you guys, like you said, you had some talent in your senior class, so knew you were going to be good. I think there was like one of those scrimmages early on. I think you guys were there with like Munising, maybe North Central, a few of the other
Yeah.
really good programs, and you guys like played really well. So it kind of like showed people that you're going to be decent, going into that
Yeah.
season.
So Munising was really good the prior year. We knew they would be at least, you got some experience with the coaches and stuff.
Yeah,
Going to that scrimmage, we had North Central too. They're not as good as they've been the other past years.
right.
And Norway was pretty good as well. Um, Definitely people were looking out for us. We heard it a lot. We also heard a bunch of trash talk the entire time. Even like Norway, we heard, oh, in that scrimmage, we could have ran up the gut the entire time. Like, shoot, we're not even playing you guys, and you guys are talking smack already. I was like, well, we'll definitely probably see you in the playoffs, but they lost to Pickford, and we won against Pickford in the regular season. So you can't look at scores, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that was
yeah.
probably the first thing we heard about doubting us was that scrimmage. There was a few comments we heard.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of the like the haters are gonna hate though. Like
Yeah.
it was
I
probably
mean,
more they were worried you were gonna steal their thunder. Like the spotlight was on you guys, and that pissed them off.
we have nothing to lose. I mean, we're a good class, but going into 8-man, it's not a whole different game. You're still running the ball, blocking, tackling, stuff like that. I kind of put a defense to it. You can run up the middle. Oh, I'm the middle linebacker. You can go right ahead, but their running back was Ian Pop. He's a
Yeah.
dog. He's going to that Michigan Tech too. So he's a teammate now. I can't really say anything about Norway because I have a few of them on my team.
Yeah. Yeah. No, all good though. You
Good
guys,
people though. I love the people I met from Norway so far.
yeah. And you guys ended up having a really good season. Like 9-2, it's really good for first year. I mean, and you ended up losing to the runner-up, Inland Lakes, really good team. Like, I mean, it's hard to be mad at that result when you see where they ended up. I mean, obviously you want to win, but not the worst result for your first 8-man season.
hmm So going into that year, we were 4-0, 4-0, or 3-0, one of the two, and we played in the Lakes in the regular season. And this is where both our teams were fully healthy, and we ended up beating them. They had a short comeback in the fourth quarter where it was 2-point deficit, and they missed their 2-point conversion, and we ended up just running the ball twice and running out the clock. The second time we played them was a little different. They didn't have quite the healthy roster, but a game changes when your quarterback goes down the first round of playoffs with the injury.
Yeah.
So keeping it that close to 36-32 or something like that, keeping it that close without a quarterback, um, that has been playing the entire year and has the experience of being a quarterback in 8-man, we did pretty good. I mean,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sad that we lost, but for sure, losing to the runner ups. I was hoping that they'd win it because I have a few people I'm not close to, but I'm chill with on that team, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I hope they win so I can just tell people I beat them.
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah.
Mm. I was watching that game and I knew they were that close, man, and stuff hit the fan.
Yeah. It's hard when you
Oh,
get to the finals. It's hard. I mean, you look at Menominee, that game too, same thing. Like
oh, yeah.
that close. Like it's tough, it's really tough. So
Yeah.
what about St. Ignace next year? Like, what do you think? How's the team gonna look?
I don't think they will have a JV. They went to their first 7-on-7. They call it 5-on-5s when you're in 8-man.
Yeah.
They had their first one. They're doing pretty good for people doubting them, I should say. There's a
Yeah.
few kids that are juniors that are there now as seniors, and they have potential because they have heart. They're not the biggest guy on the field, but if they
Yeah.
have heart, like you could see it last year, there were some sparks in them. They did pretty good though today. I heard. Not as good as they can be, I know that for sure, but they will
Yeah,
definitely be decent this year. And they don't play like as good as teams as we did last year too. So
right.
I think they're going down to D2 this year because school count's going down.
Yeah. Well, I
Hmm.
mean, sometimes having like heart and like working hard and all that is more than talent. Like I interviewed Don Beebe. I don't know if you know who that is. He played for the Packers and the Bills back in the 90s, and
Definitely sounds familiar. Yeah.
now he coaches at Aurora D3 school in Illinois, and he was talking about like how like D3 you're not going to get the biggest guys always, you're not going to get the fastest guys, and he talked about how small their offensive line was, but basically like how hard everyone worked,
Mhm.
and how he would take those guys over the bigger and like more talented guys any day of the week because that hard work and that heart means more than the talent. I mean, if you've got a guy who's got heart and talent, obviously that's the perfect combination.
Yeah. In
But
my
if you,
opinion, a real football player is if you have heart and if you give it all your effort, and then you
yeah,
have a dedication to the sport you love.
yeah,
That's definitely what, if I was a coach, that's what I'd look for. I'd look for the heart in the kid, and if they really like, playing football. If they do, then they will definitely put effort towards you if you, show, a little love to them, I guess.
yeah, yeah. You can be
You're
the
not best
biggest.
friends with you're not best friends with your coaches.
No, no,
Yeah, that's
definitely
the
not.
thing. Like, it's always like that. You see them in the offseason. Oh, how's it going? But camp, practices come, smiles usually go away.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it should be, right? Like
Yeah.
they got to be hard on you to make you better.
Hmm.
And like you can take the biggest guy in the world or the fastest guy in the world, but if he doesn't put any effort in, like yeah, he's gonna get some good plays just based
Yeah,
on his
for sure.
talent.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be the player he could be. And you could take that smaller guy who's given it his all.
Hmm.
You're going to be better off. You want
Right.
that guy who's going to, he's going to give everything for that extra yard and that extra two
Yeah,
yards or
exactly. I
whatever it
mean,
is.
game of inches is what they say. So that's what it counts for sure.
Definitely. So let's talk a little bit about your recruiting. Like, when did your recruiting start? When did tech enter the picture for you?
When I started recruiting was maybe the end of my junior season. I didn't get into the weight room until my sophomore season of track. So I'm going on 3 years now, but I wish I started sooner. I didn't know what I want to do with football. And I know now weight room is a big deal, not just weightlifting like a, big guy or nothing, but athletically as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't think I was going to get this far in football. It was a dream of mine, like every kid's dream, you go to the next level. And then once you get to that level, you want to get to the next one. I didn't realize that until junior season ended, and I was like, I really want to do something with this.
Yeah.
I didn't really get too much during the season, except like halfway through. We have connections at GVSU with my basketball coach, which is Johnny Ingles' father.
Yep.
One of the coaches, our assistant coach there, and he used to go to Red Yard. So he hooked us up with tickets, and it was a official game day visit. It was basically unofficial. I wanted free tickets to get in the game to watch Ferris. That was a great game.
Yeah.
That's what sparked my eye and was like, I can definitely play with these guys.
Yeah.
So I started getting to coaches. St. Norbert, they basically said, hey, we'll give you an offer. You gotta, register, get in this system, and we'll get you there. Same thing in Albion. So I was getting the D3 looks, but I really wanted to play D2. My idea was GVSU. They are really good at football. I was a little delusional because I didn't realize how good they are. They produce NFL.
Oh yeah.
People are going to LSU, Alabama right now.
Yeah.
So I started looking at Northern Michigan. They came to my school, and that was cool too. But it's not what I was looking for. And Michigan Tech gave me a full official visit, like going through all the facilities, a workout, talking to the coaches, and I really love the coaches there. They're great. Like again, they're not going to be that nice during the season, during practice, but they are really good people. They're just like me, jolly, and they joke around. And it was a
Yeah.
great time being around the guys I might be with. I don't talk to Zane Schwartz or Bo Schwartz too much, but they're twins and they're big guys, and I really like those guys. Like that's like typical people you want on your room. So the only thing that got me was was definitely the travel. My dad's 5 hours away from me right now, and I'm 4 hours from MTU, so that's about 9.5, 9. That's what got me. Now GVSU's an hour away from my dad. That was my dream school that I wanted to
Yeah.
go to school at, but MTU was the only school that kind of gave a shit about me.
Yeah.
So I was like, once I realized, like, no, Northern's not going to work, that's not going to work, picked up the phone and I was like, I asked Northern, hey, you guys said you'll get a hold of me after spring ball. He's like, we'll get to know you with the period. So, oh, okay. You guys are just like
Yeah.
that, I guess. But it was basically because they, got so many freshmen. They have like 50 oncoming freshmen or something. It's no big deal. But
Yeah.
if you don't have room for me, that's sorry for you. And then I did the same thing to Michigan Tech, and they said kind of the same thing. It's great to hear from you, though. That's a good thing I've seen. We'll get a hold of you after spring ball. It might be a few weeks. And then I went to school the next day, and I'm eating lunch. I get a phone call, and it's Adrian Satterstad, I think. I go, hey, I talked to the coach last night. We have a spot for you. I said, great, I commit. It's my only chance. It's the only offer on the table, and senior
Yeah.
season's done. I don't have another year. I'm taking this spot. And yeah, and that's how I got to Michigan Tech. Great to be there. I met a few of the people at the All-Star game, and they're nice guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I've interviewed a few of the guys that are on the team. You see them around when you're in the bars and stuff up in Houghton. They're all really good guys. They're gonna. I think Tech, like their football team, and you don't see this at every team, but they're like one big family. Like those guys are always hanging out together. They're always doing stuff in the off season. You know, and there's a lot of UP guys obviously on Tech too. So like there's probably guys you already know. You mentioned Ian Pop and like different
Yep.
guys you're gonna know. A lot of the coaches are UP guys. You got Phil Milbrath, he's a Norway guy.
Mhm.
You got head coach there, Dan Metlack. He's from Gwyn, I think. So you got a lot of UP guys that know how hard it
How
is.
it
Like,
is. Yep.
yeah, they know the racket. They know what everyone's got to deal with. And also, I think they're taking a turn here for the better with their football program. I think
Yes.
Metlack's turning the team around, and like Tech's going to be one of the top teams in the GLIAC here pretty soon. Like they'll be competing with well, even in recent years they played really well against Ferris and GVSU and
Yeah, so that's what I was about to get at. They were good last year, don't get me wrong.
yeah,
But they showed a lot of spark. I mean, DVSU didn't go too good, but it's a tough school. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get
yeah,
motivation for next year. When I watched the Ferris game and I was like, oh, okay. That's pretty cool because I mean Ferris State and GVSU when I went there it was 38-0 at one point and then Ferris State ended up almost coming back but it never happened. And then I
yeah,
watched online Ferris State GVSU the playoff game and that was even a close game. So if you can keep up with Ferris State, you're gonna get there at some point. Like it's
yeah,
all gonna be a progress. You're gonna have some mountains and some highs and lows, but I know this 2024 or 2028 class will definitely show up some spark. I know that in a few years.
yeah. Tech when I was a first year at Tech, so that would have been fall of 2019. They played GVSU at home and they lost 20-18. That has to be one of the best games I've ever watched. I mean, like Tech lost, which sucked, but
Yeah.
they were so close and it was such a good game to watch. But yeah, I mean, like Tech, it's hard too with a new coach. Like last year they had a new coach and they had a solid season. So like now they got a full year under Metlack as the head coach. He's the guy. He's got his
Mm,
systems now. Like I think it'll be even better now. Like watch out for Tech. And they've won the Miners Cup for the like last 13 years in a row or something. Like
I've seen
Northern
that. Yeah.
Northern can't be Tech. I mean,
No, they
Tech
won't beat us
Tech owns
anytime.
that right now. Tech owns that
No,
right now.
I am very excited to be a Husky. The people there, the people I even have on social media, I don't even know. They're from across the world, but we Snapchat and we talk, and it's good people. I
Yeah.
mean, there's even people in my running back class or my group where I know we're going to be competing for a spot this year or next year. Um, but we're still good friends. Every single
Yeah.
time we seen Ben Johnson, I'd be like, "What's up, Benji?" And he'd be like, "What's up, Crow?" or "What's up, KillsCrow?" Like we both know that we are trying to get the same spot, but
Yeah.
again, in and off the field, a different feeling. Friends, and
Right.
then gonna be competitor.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
Tech's also got some great alumni that are like really close with the program, and that's good to have. You want your alumni to come back and like to be a part of the program.
having alumni and experience on the team, and even having most of your starters come back from next year.
Oh yeah.
It's role models, even for the newer coaches that are coming up, like the head coach Dan. Um, it's his first year, and having just people that been there for a while, it definitely probably feels a lot better than having a brand new staff.
Yeah.
In my opinion, yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not easy to be a first year head coach anywhere, so definitely easier for him. Well, let's jump to
yeah.
the UP football All-Star game. Talk about that here quick. I know that's kind of how this all started. Landon told me that you were his roommate, and and then I saw you like the post, and I was like, I'm gonna try to get him on the pod, and then I added you, and well, here we
I
are.
I thought you told Landon. I was like, did you tell him? Because he just added me on Snapchat and we're talking about him right now. I felt like a little girl kind of because I was like, yeah, I want to go on the podcast. I like talking. But
Yeah.
yeah, the All-Star game, how I figured it out is I seen them from past years, of course, and when I was a junior and there was two people that got invited last year to the All-Star game from my school, and only one went out of the two that got invited, and I was like, oh, I didn't know anything honestly about the All-Star game until my junior year, which is pretty crazy to me. I'm just oblivious, I guess. I didn't realize it. My senior year, it was still in the back of my mind because I really wanted to win a chip or a state championship. I was like, I just forgot about it, honestly.
Yeah.
My coach texted me in Texas, six of us, and only five of us went. And he was like, "You guys want to go to the All-Star game? Sorry for the late notice, but I need to know ASAP." It's because we had no conference during our 8-man season. We think that the athletic directors that got together, and they're like, "Oh, it's fine." And then Pickford, they said no. It's probably because I don't know. We beat them by a little bit, and they wanted to win the conference, I'm sure. But we didn't have a conference, so they usually bring conference players and all state players there, and um, we weren't on it because we weren't in the conference. They had no idea about us, and then Advantage took over, so they didn't know either. It was new people taking it over, and my coach got a hold of them, and he invited six people. It was me, Nick Hallberg, Trevor Visna, Owen Lester, Johnny Ingles, and my friend Ethan McLean. But he got hurt during football season. I heard that he can't play like football rough anymore. It was a pretty bad injury in his shoulder.
Yeah.
But it
That's
was
that's
really
tough.
fun, dude. It's definitely something that I hope people that are seniors this year, it's something to look up to. If you don't think you're gonna play football next year, that will be my last game I'll ever want to play with. Like, um, my red team, my boys, they were awesome. It was basically what Landon said. It was just a big old team. We all got together pretty fast, and we put in more installing than having an actual practice, and having that install and being with people that you were rivals with, that you're gonna play against in college, or if they're your college teammate. It was an amazing experience. We got to know each other really quickly, and we have the red team all-star group chat on Snapchat still, and we talk every single day. We were joking around as guys, like we've been best friends for years.
Yeah.
But Landon, he didn't show up till Wednesday, and I was like, like he said, you get there and you're like, oh, who's my roommate? I hope it's someone that I have an idea of who it is, not a quiet, And that's just the type of person I am. I'm welcoming and stuff, but
Yeah.
I told we probably sat there Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night, and we were like, dude, what are we gonna talk about at this banquet? Because we got to talk about our roommate and say some cool things about him, what you learned about him. And so we sat there from probably 12 a.m. until 2 p.m. 2 a.m. just sitting and talking. Eventually, one of us shut up and we went to bed. But it was. I know that guy. Like, it's my guy. I have only known
Yeah.
him for 4 days, and I only seen him for 4 days. But I'll do anything for that guy. He's cool. I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
But
going. He's going to Oshkosh. I'm hoping that I'm gonna ask, or I'm gonna travel myself and go to the games because I really want that experience before I go into my second year or my first
yeah.
year, second year in college. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
we'll
got you.
be able
Well,
to be going against him, I'm sure.
yeah. Yeah. Hey, Tech's they're always playing a D3 school. Like they've been playing Platteville a lot. Northern's been playing they played UW lacrosse last year. Like there's always those crossover games.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of cool.
Oshkosh played us last year, Michigan Tech, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He told us to beat us. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, you always gotta hey, I mean, and they're good D3 teams. Like
Mm.
I don't know, one of the games at Platteville, I was working, so I was like there watching, and it was close for a little while. Like I was like, man, Tech is struggling with this D3 school. Like it shows you how good these guys are.
Right.
But
Um.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I hope we go battle to battle. I mean, I was in the running boot group with him with an all-star game. I had to figure out how to play defensive end in 4 days. I did all right, but right when I figured out Menominee running back, St. Ignace running back, I'm an 8-man guy. This guy don't know who I am. I'm out of here. We already got 8 running backs. I'm like, I'm not gonna play running back. It's like, where do you want me, coach? You can put me anywhere.
yeah.
D line. And I was like, not there, but ended up going.
Anywhere, how about not that?
They were like, when you get your hand in the dirt, that's when you have a disadvantage, they say. I mean, because I'm not used to going in a 3-point. I was like, I
Yeah,
go quicker off my 2 feet.
yeah,
But it was an experience for sure. I mean, we still kicked their butt, and we had Carson Hingston, we had Cam Peterson, another 8-man guy. We had Engadine, another 8-man guy. Their running back. We had me, and we had another guy that was in there, and we're all running backs on the defensive line. And we
yeah,
still ended up getting QB hits, tackles for a loss, and we ended up getting a few sacks altogether. I mean,
yeah.
we were talking our smack.
Eight
We're
man
like, you guys
rules,
are
man.
losing to a running back line. It's not even a D line. We're all running back, and you guys are losing. Like, you
Yeah,
shut up. I'm like, no, we're gonna
no.
let you know. We're gonna let you know.
Hey, if you can back it up, it's okay to talk smack. It's not okay when you can't back it up. When you're talking smack and you can't do it, that's not okay. If you're talking
No, I ain't
smack,
okay.
if
uh,
you got 0 sacks, D lineman who's got 0 sacks all year, you can't talk smack. But if
no,
you got 15 sacks, all right,
no.
talk.
I was holding my own. I was
Yeah.
definitely. I could have done a lot better if I had at least
Well, I mean,
two more.
4 days. Come on.
Yeah, I did all right, but I was surprised. I had a feeling that I would have been the top candidate for a defensive captain. It was pretty cool. I was flying around the thing and communicating, and I'm glad I got the defensive captain. It really made me happy.
Yeah.
They noticed my character and the energy on the field. That's what the coaches you want. I love the Menominee, and I love the Kingsford coach that was doing the defensive line too. I love all those
Yeah.
coaches too. But I um my best position in football is probably punter. We did a combine, and one was a farthest punt, and I was the punter for our red team, and I got, I think, 58, 55 yards. And then I get in the
Wow.
game, and I kick the ball, and I drag my right foot on the ground before I kick it, and I messed up. It's the only time we kicked, the only time we punted, dude. And I was so mad, but one of the coaches got like, well, what the heck was that? You were laying the boom and the warm ups. I'm like, yeah, that was 2.5 hours ago. But they're funny guys. They were making some jokes
Yeah.
after.
So maybe you'll be punting for Tech.
I don't know. I think the punter's he has 2 more years of eligibility. I mean, if I get pretty
You can
good in
steal a
it,
job. You can do everything. Like, hey, wasn't it there was that rumor that not a rumor, but the Steelers were gonna have Justin Fields returning punts. So, I mean,
I've
like,
seen
hey,
that.
you've been an all-around player.
I'll be the emergency punter. Like if they need it, like I'll let them know because I don't know, 8th grade, I decided that I wanted to be a punter. Like, I wanted to be one of my positions, and I
Yeah.
said, "I'll get pretty good if I hit my mom's car." This was 45 yards away in 8th grade, and I hit it one time. I said, "All right, I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah.
This is good enough."
Yeah. That's funny. Well, now we gotta go to my research. The research I did. I found
Oh,
on your
that,
on your
that threw
Inst.
me off, dude. I was like, "What in the world?" He doesn't even follow me on Instagram.
I look around when I got guests coming on. I like to be prepared, and I was
I
snooping
got
around. I saw you had a Florida post, and you and a bunch of guys got your picture taken with Harbaugh. So how'd that
yeah.
happen?
So we went to Universal. It was my first time in Florida, so it was pretty cool seeing Harbaugh. I mean, we were debating, should we wait an hour and a half for another ride, or should we get out of here because it's been miserable. We sat there for about 5-10 minutes contemplating if we wanted to or not. Decided to leave, and we all have our head down on our phone because we've been sitting in the line and stuff like that, having fun. And Sawyer, my buddy, he looks up and he says, "Is that Harbaugh?" And we all pop up at the same time and usually see this tall guy in a big group. I'm like, "Yeah, that's Harbaugh." We sat there 20 minutes or 20 seconds or so. "Let's go get a picture." We sprinted around everybody and like, "Harbaugh," and he turned around. He's like, "Yo," I was like, "Can we get a picture?" And I was like, "This is crazy," because I wasn't into college football like very much when I was in high school until I started getting closer and I was on varsity my sophomore year with my friend Ethan. Um, he got me into like in the Michigan Wolverines, and my dad's from. Well, I'll let you know here in a minute. But it was cool seeing him. I made a joke. I was like, "Oh my god, it's LA Chargers head coach," and he smiled because he just won the Natty.
Yeah,
But it was definitely cool. He was there with his parents, and it was like, wow, timing is everything in this world. If we took that ride, we wouldn't have seen him. We
yeah.
waited till any other minute, we would not have seen him. That was pretty cool seeing him being on a.
Was he pretty chill?
It was chill, yeah. He threw up the sign for Florida, I guess, and then I said put up the one. I was like, we won the Natty, dude. I was stoked for that. I don't know. I had a big smile on my face, even though like I just knew who this guy was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I knew who he was when I was younger and everything, but getting into the organization a lot more the next 2 years.
yeah.
It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Michigan. Oh, Michigan fans. I can't stand them. Well, everyone around here is a Michigan fan. There's not many state fans because the state kind of
Oh,
sucks.
don't worry. At my job, I say state fan. You're lucky that I'm nice. I usually don't let them on my tour, and they think that's the funniest thing in the world.
I'm a big, huge Notre Dame fan, and all my
I
Michigan,
thought I'd do something like that. Yeah.
all my Michigan friends give me shit for it. Because
What?
I think the last time Michigan and Notre Dame played, Michigan kind of waxed the floor with them. Like it was bad, but they
Didn't
haven't
have
played in a while.
They haven't played in a while. I know they did pretty decent this year, right?
Yeah, I'm optimistic for next year. We got the Duke quarterback as a transfer,
Well, yeah.
and got a couple wide receivers and some other guys. So I'm fingers crossed with the new 12
I got
team playoff.
That's kind of how I feel about my teams that I like right now too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, my friend Ethan has a cousin down in Saline, and CJ Carr is one of the QBs downstate that committed to
yeah.
Notre Dame. Yeah, so I've been
Oh yeah.
kind of sneaking in with what's going on there. I watch a game or two. I don't like their green. Sorry to tell you, but
Oh, I think it's great, man. The green with the gold helmets. I love
it's
that.
either you like it or you don't like it. I don't
It
like
is.
that.
It is. I think I hate Michigan's jerseys. Honestly, I like the just boring. Like,
I got that. I can get that for sure.
but yeah, CJ
What
Carr.
about Michigan State's neons? Do you like that?
I actually did. I actually
Oh,
did. I was talking about that with this guy I had on the podcast a while back. We were talking about jerseys. I can't remember. I can't remember who it was. Anyway,
you
and I was like talking about I like the green. He was like, "What? Like those are horrible." I'm like, oh man, that's kind of sweet.
well, it's definitely something that no other college has neon green with dark green or stuff like that. I mean, I think it would look pretty cool if it was all white jerseys. You got neon numbers or something.
Yeah.
Look like you're in like the OT7s.
Yeah. Yeah.
You and my friend Eli would have a good chat about them jerseys. I can tell you that right now.
Hey, they're not bad. They're not bad. But you mentioned CJ Carr. Do you know who the big Madonsky is? He's got it all his sports page. He does like football for the
Yeah, yeah.
whole
Wasn't that
Michigan.
your page?
No, that's I had a different page and
Oh, okay.
I just
And then
kind of help him out now with like UP stuff once in a while.
I got you
And
now.
I was in like a group chat with him last year and like we'd like talk, football and he'd like ask me and a couple other guys like for our like weekly picks and we'd like keep track or whatever. And he was like he'd always talk about what's his name there from was it Underwood
Celine?
there?
Oh,
The
Bryce Underwood.
Yeah, and he'd be talking about how he's the best quarterback, and I'd be like, "Oh, what about CJ Carr?" And he'd just be like, "Shut up, you only like him because he's a Notre Dame guy." I was like, "Well, yeah, I mean, come on, he's the best quarterback in the state. Notre Dame knows good talent when they see it. Come on."
Yeah, you never know, dude. I mean, you never know. These people elevate from high school to college or college to the NFL differently. So
Yeah, yeah. I picked Saline every game they played. Like we do it. I always picked them because of him. I was like, I gotta go with this Irish guy. Yeah.
you're definitely doing that too.
Yeah. Even when they played,
They put up a good fight a few times. I've seen.
yeah, their offense was good, but their defense wasn't good enough to like keep them in. Like they could score 40 points, but then when they'd like play, who did Underwood play for? What team is that?
Belleville. I knew
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
brain fart,
yeah, I was about to
gone,
say.
lost it. When they
Yeah.
played them, what I think they lost one of the games, one of the years, like 60-40. Okay, like you score 40 points, I feel like most of the time you're gonna win, but when you're playing against a team with another elite offense.
Uh-huh. Usually when you score 40 points, you're winning.
Yeah, usually.
That's usually what that you know what I tell Johnny in basketball games? I say if
What?
you drop 40 points, we have a good chance at winning. And then we went to the state champ or the basically state champ semifinal.
Yeah.
Said the same thing. He only dropped 35 or something.
Oh, jeez.
It was
It's
all we
not
lost.
40.
It's
It's
not
not
40.
40.
That's why we lost, Johnny. All your fault. You
Yeah, you,
deep four
you could have
player.
5 more points. 5 more points.
Close. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why don't we end the episode on like who's your favorite football player ever?
That I like watch the most, look up to the most.
Yeah, well, I guess I don't know. Maybe I guess is
Kind
it
of
a
the same.
different answer or is it the same?
Uh, right now, current's probably I don't know. I was thinking about this question earlier. I know my all-time favorite right now. It's probably the most electric and best wide receiver in the entire league. Who do you think it is?
Oh, oh, come on. He
My
can't.
dad.
He
And my
can't
dad's
stay
from South.
healthy.
My
Come
dad's from
on.
South Dakota. So my dad's from South Dakota. Um, I've been growing up a Minnesota Viking fan, and then it
I
goes
mean,
Lions, and then Steelers is my 32nd favorite team. I don't like
the
Green
thing
Bay.
about the thing about Jefferson that always gets me is I always draft him really high in fantasy, and then he gets hurt or like doesn't do as good. I'm like, I get pissed because I'll take him as like my number one or my number two pick in fantasy, and I feel like I always get screwed over.
Well, his second and third year weren't too bad. His fourth year, he got hurt for 10 games and still put up 1,000 yards. So, other than
Yeah,
that, I know what you mean. Being an out for 10 weeks, and then he only played 9.5. So, yeah, still 10 weeks, but still not pretty developed into coming back from his injury.
yeah.
That
I mean,
definitely would probably suck in fantasy.
yeah, he's good though. I mean, it's
Yeah.
I guess yeah.
Um,
I don't know who'd be better. I mean, you could argue a lot of guys.
it depends. It depends on what your offense is.
Yeah.
You can I can throw the ball to Justin Jefferson, he'll catch it. And then
Yeah.
there's some people that need a long arm, and Tyreek Hill is a fast guy. He'll go all the way down the field. You need somebody to throw the ball in like that way. You can't just have a great guy like Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, and somebody limiting his greatness, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it
I
kind of
got
just
you.
depends on what the franchise is kind of, doing.
So Vikings fan, that's gonna suck this year.
That's why you said something about fingers crossed about the Irish, and I was like, yeah, it's something about my team. It's either I hope it's just an exciting year. I really don't care if we win or lose because everyone's already doubting us. I hope he proves the doubters wrong. If we
Who
don't,
who's the Vikings quarterback going to be?
it's not going to be JJ McCarthy until Sam Darnold loses like 0-5. I
Right.
think what they should do is start Sam Darnold for at least half the year or 3/4 of the year, and it's called a rebuild. So next year you're
Right,
gonna have
exactly.
JJ's gonna have a few games under his belt. Watch the film, see what you got to get better at in the NFL.
If you throw him in first game, it's gonna be like what happened to Bryce.
Yeah,
What Bryce Young down in Carolina. Like he he just got like so much pressure. A team that wasn't like that good, a rookie, like he just got thrown into the fire. Not good. That's how you ruin rookies. I mean, he
that's how
can
you
still
ruin.
bounce back, but
Yeah, I mean, kind of depends on the person he is. Like, if you have a horrible year, it's not even your fault, and you know it, and you know you can do better, that will help you in the long run. Now,
yeah,
if you are a type of person that you doing horrible and you think it's your fault, and you know, it can ruin somebody's mindset. But majority of the NFL guys, I'm sure they're not like that. I hope Bryce Young, I hope JJ McCarthy, I hope any rookies, I hope they have a bad year and they learn from it. That's how it should be for sure for me and my
yeah,
perspective.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm
I
a
hope
big
they do good. That'd be amazing, but it doesn't
oh yeah.
happen all the time.
I'm a big Titans guy. That's my team. And Levis, he had like one good game to start. He tossed like four TDs, and everyone was
Or
like, "Oh yeah."
TDs.
And then after that, I think he threw like two for the rest of the year, and he was
Uh,
horrible. But that's
fantasy. I had everything but a quarterback and a tight end. Will Levis throws 4 touchdowns? Screw it. I'll put him in next week.
I did the same thing. Didn't
And
work. Didn't work.
I had a
But
rough
now
fantasy
now
year.
he's got Calvin Ridley, DeAndre, and Tyler Boyd. He's got Tony Pollard in the backfield. He'll be much better now. Now they got a real offense.
Yeah, they definitely have a few weapons, and even with like going back to JJ McCarthy, if you have all them weapons around you, Aaron Jones, that has to feel great. You
Yeah,
have a
it's
decent O line. It can be above that. It can be a lot better than it is, but quickly get the ball to your stars, and you'll be all right.
right.
But some defenses and some coaches already know they're going to do that, and it can be a disaster.
Yeah. The whole NFC North it's going to be tough. It's going to be tight this year because the Packers look good, the Lions look good again. The Bears, like if Caleb Williams can pop off, like he's got all the weapons now. Like they loaded up with weapons
uh,
for him. Like it's gonna be crazy.
yeah, the most boring game was probably watching the Vikings and Chicago Bears because Chicago Bears won without a touchdown. They
Yeah.
5 for 5 for field goals. So you have a great
Yeah.
defense. They're not gonna score. I mean, they definitely did a lot better at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And going into the next year, that's great. And then you have all these offensive players. It depends if Caleb Williams is going to be a bust or not.
Yeah. I don't think he should have been the first overall pick because like I don't know, his senior year wasn't as good. USC was pretty bad towards the end of the year. I mean, like he was a first rounder, but I definitely don't think he should have been the number one guy. I don't know. I thought it should have been. I'm drawing a
Yeah,
blank on his name. LSU
definitely.
quarterback.
Yeah, I was about to say, you think
The
LSU's quarterback should have
the
been
the
number one?
Heisman. What's his name?
Um,
I
that's
can't
not
believe
Nate.
this.
It's Malik something, isn't it?
No, no. Oh, what is his name? This is gonna drive me nuts.
I know who he is. So, yeah, I searched it up real quick. I think
Um,
that guy should have been too. If you're a Heisman, the best.
Jaden Daniels. Yeah, Jaden
Jaden
Daniels.
Daniels,
He
yeah.
should have
If
been the
you're
number one overall pick. His numbers were nuts.
Yeah, if you are the Heisman winner, I think you should be a number one overall pick either way. That proves that you did your best and you showed
Yeah,
off your best your senior year or your last year of college. A team would
he's
be
just
nuts not to. It depends on what they're needing, but both teams
yeah,
needed a quarterback. I would have picked Daniels for sure.
yeah,
Yeah. Um,
definitely.
with the
Yeah.
Vikings. The game that definitely got me into football was in 6th grade or 7th grade. The Minneapolis Miracle. I have a TV like the size of your screen here, my phone, maybe a little bigger than that. But I was sitting here on the ground, dude, because we just moved in, and oh my goodness, it was like 10:30 at night, screaming my head off. Had my old Brandy Moss jersey on, my dad's old one, and that got me into it, dude. I went to my first Minnesota Viking game. I think the first time the Lions met with them this year, when they lost, but JJ McCart or JJ, he had like 200 something reception yards. It's when I'm like rose up, and it's still amazing. I watch him every play. I don't even care what's going on. I just watch him.
Yeah, who cares what else is going on? Just watching
Yeah.
him.
I bet you $5 to get the ball this play, Dad.
Most times you'd win that bet.
Yeah, dude.
Or at least they'd try to throw it to him. Like,
yeah. When
how many targets he gets, like.
Yeah, when you have Dumb and Dumber as quarterback, it's different. How do you feel about Josh Dobbs, the legacy he dropped for 3 week or the 2 week span?
That guy, like,
getting signed 8 days before a game or something like that, and not knowing any of the playbook or nothing, learning the cadence with your center on the sideline of the game, and you still make up. And the reasons why they won is because of him. He extended those plays to get the yards and touchdowns.
He's a solid player. He's just like never been consistent enough to be like a number one starter. Like he'll like pop off for these random games when some team signs him. He just like can't maintain it for like weeks on end.
I was like, what is going on with the astronaut, dude? It was weird. It's probably that face I got to him or something. Because I was like, maybe next year if JJ's not doing too good, just get him. Yeah, make a whole new system and throw everything at him. Maybe he'll win us 2 games too.
Yeah.
This is the best bet, I guess. That's how the season's gonna go next year.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting year in the NFL, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, I always say that. I don't know.
It really all depends on how the rookies do. The Lions, they'll probably win the NFC. Packers, I think it's Lions Packers, so who will have to be the runner-ups. I think the Lions will get it though.
Unless Jordan Love flops now. He had his one good year and now he's gonna flop.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too sad to see that. So
yeah. The Packer fans would all cry, and they all think he's the next Aaron Rodgers. Like, oh my gosh, come on, he had one good year. You can't tell me he's that good yet. One good year doesn't make a guy like comparing to Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers.
Usually the second or the third year where you're like, all right, they're legit.
Right. Yeah. When you have like
season, shoot.
Yeah, when you string together a bunch of years, like, all right, this guy, he's something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is for a lot of things in the world, for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. All right, well, thanks for coming on the pod. Love getting UP guys on. Got to get that UP spotlight. I mean, the five people that regularly listen to this.
Yeah, I'm sure Bardo will listen to it, but
he's got to. Did you listen to his?
I had the devious leg day.
Then he's got to. He's got to listen to yours.
LeBron or MJ? It's LeBron. Sorry to tell you.
No. Oh no! Don't say that. What? What?
No, I'm just messing with you.
Okay, I was gonna say. Oh
my mom has like a million cards. She would not like it if I said that.
Wow. I was thinking you were a cool guy until you said that.
No, I was giving Bardo a hard time. I was like, yeah, it's LeBron. And I kept on sending him these TikToks. It was like LeBron edits. Stop sending me these.
I can't get with people when they say that. Like, man, just look at the numbers. Literally any numbers. Look at the finals numbers. Look at all the records. Look at everything.
LeBron went to the finals twice as many times as him, almost.
And he's got
still has more wins than him in the finals.
Yeah.
And he's a good player. I give him the runner-up.
Yeah,
So.
I don't even know if I do that. I don't even know if he's the second best player. I don't know.
You think who? Jabbar?
Yeah, I mean,
Jabbar?
I feel like Kareem is so like people never talk about him. I don't know. You could put I mean, some people would say like Kobe deserves a
Goldie
mention.
with
I
mentality
mean,
and Tim
I think
Duncan.
I think
You want to
Larry
know?
Bird
You
should
want
get
to
a
know a fact
mention in
about Larry
there.
Bird?
Who?
You want to know a fact about Larry Bird?
What?
It's the secret of why I'm good. I'm so good at football.
What is it?
It's my mom and my grandma's cousins.
What?
Yeah, my grandma, she was Linda Bird, and she was from French Lick. And then she moved up here, but I went down there when I was in fifth grade, and I met his aunt and uncle, Betty, and
Wow.
forgot his name. It's definitely far, but I have cousins. I got Steve Bird, Joel Bird, Mason Bird, Colin Bird, Ryan Bird.
Wow.
I got all of them.
That's
But it's
wild.
definitely distant for sure. But that's why I'm like, you know why
Yeah.
I'm so good at football? And I guess I'm like, or I say it for basketball too. I joke with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because
Nah,
Larry Bird. And
yeah,
then
that's
fact
cool.
about basketball is Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
He's in the same native tribe as my father, so he's in the same native tribe as me, the Standing Rock Sioux
Really?
tribe. Yeah, or Sioux
Wow.
tribe.
You get all kinds of connections here.
But I can't make it three unless I have 3 seconds to shoot it.
Well, nobody else needs to know that. You just
No, I'd just be like, yeah, I got some celebrities on my side.
yeah. Hey, it's cool. I
Distant,
got
but
I have one cousin on my dad's side that pitched for the Astros for a little bit. I think that's
yeah.
kind of cool. He played at Texas A&M, and then he only played like a handful of MLB games, and now he's like in the scouting or something in the MLB
Mhm.
somewhere. I always thought that was kind of cool. Like I had
It's always cool. My the head coach of the varsity basketball now is Bridger Bokey. He went to the NFL as well, and he's also the assistant head coach for football. Love the guy. Um, and we also have Barry Pearson. He was I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame, but he's really known for U of M against his game against Ohio State when he was there. He went to the St. Louis Cardinals. That's how old he is. And then you got Joey Osman. I love that guy
yeah.
too. He's the reason why I got into the lifting. I got a hold of him, gave me a workout schedule, and I didn't ask for this, but when I met up with him to lift, 3 tubs of protein, some creatine, pre-workout, and vitamins, all for free.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
great
pretty
guy.
sweet.
Love him.
Yeah, I interviewed him a while back when I was doing my sports talk with Paris stuff. I talked to him. He was a cool guy.
Yeah, he's for sure. When he went to talk to us in the at Northern Michigan for the All-Star game, I think he said at least 50 times. He probably did it on your podcast too. Yeah, yeah. I let him know too.
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
I know. No.
Hey, it shows that like even famous people like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're just like the rest of us,
Uh-huh.
which is
Oh
cool.
yeah, for sure, dude.
They
Usually
show that they're
people
human. Like
they got famous and they think there's stuff. Nobody in the UP's like that.
no,
Yeah.
no,
I
because they all
mean,
come from humble beginnings. Like they had
I
to
mean,
grind to get there.
me and Jake Witt, we were not best buds or nothing, but when we were on Habitat for Humanity, I sat right in the front row with him. I didn't have much room, so they made room for the other row on the left side. We talked for an hour or something like that. We talked in the Advantage 906 gym, and we talked a lot, dude. He's a great guy, and I
Yeah.
followed him. He followed me back, and that gave a good smile on my face.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a cool guy too. Yeah, you don't get much better than Jake Witt. Like
He
you
doesn't
don't
look
find
like
many people nicer than that.
yeah, yeah. That's not. I was like, shoot, I'm a little nervous, but he doesn't look like he's 320, 310 pounds. Oh my goodness, I forgot how tall he was until I got close to him.
It's all muscle too.
Oh yeah, dude. I keep on watching these Advantage stories. You still work out there, dude. I think 465 for two on the bench press and something 500 something on the box squats. I'm like, one day when I'm an
Yeah.
actual D lineman, no.
Just keep grinding. Just gotta keep grinding.
Yeah, for sure. My only hobby is definitely going to the gym these days and work.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's a good hobby to have. Keep in shape.
Hmm.
You just gotta keep at it.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, not
Yeah.
to gloat
Well,
myself up. Not to gloat myself up, but how much do you think I bench press?
it put me on the spot here.
I'm in the triple.
Uh, um, are we talking one rep max? Or are we
One
talking
rep.
like
One rep.
250?
That's so mean. I get that
Higher?
for probably 5 or 6.
Oh, okay.
I got 315.
Whoa,
It's,
wow.
it, well, I got 310. 315 was literally right there, so I'll probably get it here
Yeah.
soon.
Well, I wasn't trying to like shade you or anything. I was just like,
No, I
I don't
know.
know, like
Even if you did, like I wouldn't have put it that
I was
way.
trying to think like, okay, like high schoolers and like, man, I was always a scrawny kid. I took this weightlifting class my senior year of high school, and my one rep max was like, I don't know, 165 or 170, and I was like happy with that. That was good for me. Like I was like, yeah, woohoo, I got five
I'll
more on
tell.
the
Yeah, I think it's in my genetics. I'll tell my dad, hey, I just hit 315 for 12 on the squat. That was my warm up. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like, okay,
It might
Dad.
be in my
So,
genetics. He was a big guy for sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I hope all these kids like just get this love for football. Like at least I do. Like I just if I'm bored, I go on Huddle. I'll watch even practice clips. Something I haven't watched before at least 3 times. And I just hope there's kids in the future that definitely have that love for the game.
You got to get up on Michigan Tech's wall in the multi. They got the different
I
like
see that
bench, squat,
for
shuttle,
the
like three, all the
position.
yeah, like each position who's had the best one. Some of those records have been there for like 20 years and nobody's
I,
like
I told the
broken
coach
those.
it will vary. Like I was like, I can play wherever you want to. I see you got like 4 running backs, so I told him I can play defense, I can play offense, whatever you want me to do. He said it's something for fall camp to figure out, but I was a linebacker. I probably need 20 more pounds of muscle on me for to be a running back or a linebacker. That was what I was, but I'm an ideal safety, I think,
Yeah.
at my
Yeah.
size. I'm 5'11", 200. I can
Yeah.
move a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for
Hey,
talking so long. You should ask
no.
Bardo that the
No,
banquet.
no.
The banquet. I was supposed to talk to him for 30 seconds or so. Sat up there for about 2 minutes and just talked about him. And I was the first one up. Everyone after me is like, "Great guy." I met him and we were rivals. Great guy, funny guy too. Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
he said. And I was like, "All right."
Hey, I like talkers, man. And I think it's like one of the it's tough when I like ask somebody to come on the pod and then I have like a handful of questions and they just like give me like a one line answer and then like you're not
The
giving me anything to
podcast
work
was
with
about
here.
probably 12, 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was a podcaster in your eyes, I would be. I'd rather love a talker
Yeah.
than
I
someone.
love I love when people talk. I love talking. Like that's one reason I
I,
do this. I love just
I told
talking.
you I'm a tour guide. I talk to probably at least 200 people a day, and I never see them
Yeah.
after. That's my motto.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll never see you guys after this, so I'm gonna say whatever I want.
Yeah. Hey. Well, you can't do that on here because this is gonna go on the internet and everyone can
No,
watch it over and over and over.
yeah, I'm sure I'll hear something from my dad in Norway and
Yeah.
Pickford. What's Pickford gonna do? I had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Come on. That's Pickford. Come on. They lost two in the playoffs. They didn't. I mean,
They lost, and I was at that game, and it was the most boring
yeah.
game I've watched in my life.
Was it like
Zero
12-0 or something like that?
0-0 until the last 2 minutes.
Yeah. Nobody wants to
Yeah,
watch that.
I can't stand watching a Pickford game. I can't. It's Tommy Story up the middle, Tommy Story right, Tommy Story left. Oh,
I'm
they're
gonna keep this all in the episodes so they can listen to this and they can your Snapchat can
all right. I'll give you a tip, Pickford. When you guys are in your power eye with a fullback and a running back, it's your worst play, and you get -2 yards every play. don't do it next year.
You're gonna be
And
coaching
I'm
Pickford.
training a Kordell Jr. this year, so have at it, because 2 fumble recoveries, 10 touchdown or 10 tackles. I'm basically Tommy Story's dad. So. I'm just kidding.
If they stop watching that before you laugh,
that's all right. They can come at me.
Hey. I mean,
It's when it comes to football.
It should be. They should. If anyone knows you, like I've only been talking to you for like an hour, and I can already tell like you're a jokester. Like you like having a good time. If anyone knows you, they'll be fine. Like they'll get it. Just watch the whole episode and you'll understand. If they stop watching,
that's how it is on my job too. I'll be just cracking jokes, and they'll just be like, "They was a tough crowd." That's what I was saying. I just give it like I'm a computer.
Yeah. Hey, that's good. Good to be when you're like a teammate. Be a guy you can just like light up the room. Everyone's like down. You light everyone up.
Yeah, I noticed that. It definitely starts hurting after a while. My job, where I'm talking to someone, I literally figure out I have a smile on my face, which is good to have. But once I get down, it's a little sore.
Yeah, you gotta do like jaw exercises, and you're gonna be in your room like 1, 2, 3.
For sure,
wrap it out.
Well, I appreciate the text. Get me on this podcast.
Yeah,
it's definitely a blessing. Not everyone's on here, so
yeah, I appreciate you coming on. Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for more episodes soon.